tourists may soon be lured to the Northern Territory to hunt and kill millions of cane toads, experts are saying, have thrown the food chain into disarray. Now, we're not talking a couple here. 92 million cane toads are eating 18 billion food items in the Territory each day, according to FrogwatchNT. They're a co-coordinator of that group, and indeed the Lord Mayor of Darwin, Graeme Sawyer, is on the line now. Welcome, Graeme.
Yeah, how are you guys?
Now, Graeme, I hear a bit of a chuckle there. How fair dinkum is this plan?
Look, there's actually some method in our madness.
Yes.
Unlike everybody else up here who's a really good drinker, the cane toads suffer from what's called evaporative water loss, which means the fluid they take in evaporates back out through their skin really quickly.
Yep.
The result of that is in the dry season, they have to congregate on water to survive our dry periods.
Ah.
And it's that same water that's really the peak tourist attractions where all of our beautiful bird life and other stuff congregate.
Okay.
So we do have toads and tourists in the same place at the same time, so to speak.
Yeah. So there is a bit of science involved there.
To make it even better, it's actually really good fun to get out at night with a spotlight and have a look at the native wildlife we do have left that doesn't eat toads, some of the big pythons, and you also get a chance to jump around and jump over a few crocodiles. It's actually quite an adventure.
It certainly sounds like it. I don't know how you're going to sell it to some tourists, Graeme. I did read somewhere that some of the cane toads you're getting up there are as big as small dogs.
Yeah, look, they can be huge, all right. There's certainly no doubt about that.
Yeah, well, that is a cricket bat, not a golf club, that one, I think.
Yeah, look, I think these guys could seriously break lots of things. So we actually pick them up and bag them up and kill them with carbon dioxide gas, which is a lethal anaesthetic to cane toads.
Yep.
But it's a process that works. I mean, we've had the great toad muster happening over near the West Australian border now for the last 4 years, and the tourists and stuff that have come and joined in that have raved about it as a fabulous experience. They've seen a side of Australia's wildlife, most of which is nocturnal, that they'd never get a chance to see otherwise, and they've had a great time.
Wow.
So they're obviously proving a major pest for a lot of the food industry up there?
Look, they're a massive problem. Ecologically, they're really taken the place apart. They've taken out a lot of our major predators, which has its own set of implications for wildlife populations, but the alarming stuff is the sheer volume of them and the amount of food that they're consuming that should be supporting our native wildlife populations. They're really making our biodiversity a lot scarcer than it should be.
Is it possible to bait for them?
Not that we know of at the moment, but there's a range of strategies. The best one is this fencing strategy we've just developed where when they're congregated around that waterhole late in the dry season, if you put a fence around it and deny them access to water, you can wipe the entire cane toad population out of that area in about 2 or 3 nights.
Wow.
So we just had some research finished doing that sort of stuff in December last year, which proved that that's 100% effective in certain conditions. So there are some things we can do, but it's a massive problem.
How visible is the problem, Graeme? If a tourist or myself or someone was to go up to the Northern Territory, would we be immediately aware of it, or is it sort of a little bit more...
Yeah, look, people, I mean, it depends a bit what you do. Certainly if you're inside Darwin, you don't see very many of them because Darwin people are pretty well organised now to keep cane toad numbers really low. But if you're out in the bush at night, or you're in some of our major tourist centres and out and about at night, you will see significant numbers of cane toads around.
Yeah. Ugly creatures too.
Yeah. Are they? So they're right across the top end now.
Yeah, they've just crossed over the border into Western Australia, and that's another part of this process. The Stop the Toad Foundation and the Kimberley Toadbusters are both doing toad work over in the Kimberleys now, and they're trying to do what they can to minimise the damage over there, but they're really up against it.
Yeah, I would think the guys up in the Ord River would be very worried about them heading in their direction.
Yeah, look, that's very true. I mean, I was just over in that country a couple of weeks ago, and it really brought home to me just how big the loss has been around Darwin. I mean, the big goannas and stuff that were walking around El Questro and places like that when I was there were a reminder of what it used to be like here 5 years ago, and we just don't see those animals anymore.
Yeah, that's terrible. Graeme, I was stunned when I saw the figure 92 million quoted by FrogwatchNT. Given that number is so massive, how sustainable is a policy like this? How far does these human control measures go to combating the problem? Is it simply a tide that can't be bested?
Look, I'm a bit uncertain as to whether you can stop it.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Certainly I think you can make a difference. And we've got a lot of research now that shows some of the worst of the impacts of cane toads on some of our species comes through the cane toad's eggs. And one of the things that we can do by collecting all the toads during the dry season and starting off each wet season with almost no cane toads in an area means there's almost no cane toad eggs laid in that area. So we aren't going to be able to get rid of cane toads completely, but it looks like we can have a massive impact on the negative impact they're having on so many other species. And it's while they're congregated in that late dry season, it gives us an opportunity to make a difference without having to spend too much time and effort on it.
Yeah, no, all the best with it. How's Darwin going?
Oh, gorgeous as ever this time of year.
Yeah.